With you guys. 37386. Okay. Out of the gate, JT, ready to go here in Las Vegas from the home studios in Summerlin, Nevada. Welcome in. Great to have you. Hope you had a good weekend. I knocked out 4 hours on Sunday on this platform. I'm going to do it tonight and tomorrow night. That's all I want. 3 days a week, plus the 5 days a week locally and all the other stuff. I'm thrilled to be on your satellite tonight. And thanks a lot for listening and tuning in. You can follow me on YouTube at JT The Brick YT. See the cut-ups, see the reels. And I think you're going to enjoy this monologue because I am ready to roll tonight. I've been waiting around all day for this 20 minutes. So as I said, sound off like you got a pair. You know what you want to say on this NBA All-Star game. If I were you, I'd start dialing now at 888-623-3646, 888-MAD-DOG-6, and let me rant and get out of my way. Because when I'm done with this, I'm going to take down the NBA in 20 minutes with no teleprompters, no people writing my show. I go to sporting events. I watch sports. 25 years ago, I was in Oakland for the 2000 NBA All-Star game, and it was great. I was there for the dunk contest with Vince Carter. It's over. I was there for that. I was in the city of San Francisco. I remember some of the greatest parties I've been to in NBA history. And they had the All-Star game in Vegas, which was a fiasco in other cities. But I remember that. And I was kind of interested in this All-Star game because I wanted to see how badly they would screw it up. And they screwed up this NBA All-Star game worse than I could imagine. And that's hard to do because I had very low expectations coming in. Because this is a big topic for me in sports. It's one of my go-tos. You would put it on the JT The Brick Mount Rushmore. And that topic is simply when they take our sports, the sports of our life, our youth, our parents, our grandparents, and they put their fingers on it and they touch it and they evolve and try to change it and screw it up. And no sport has been screwed up more in the last 5 to 10 years than the NBA. Millions of fans globally are leaving this sport because they don't like the players, they don't like the image of the league, they don't like the way the game is being played. But most importantly, they don't like player entitlement. And that's the focus of my monologue tonight on Sirius XM 82. This comes down to a big topic that not many people are talking about on the radio because they don't understand it. It's a delicate topic, and you got to be a pro who's been doing this for more than 5 minutes to talk about it. You got to live it. You got to feel it. You got to understand it. And let me explain to you how I see the NBA, and most importantly, the All-Star game. You have a bunch of people now that are afraid of the players. They're afraid of the players and the players' union. They have now made us call the owners the governors. They have now let players leave contracts and force trades. They've let the players love load management where they don't have to play every night. And the players are taking control of the league. But there's only a few players that are doing this, and they're called NBA All-Stars. These are the culprits. And player entitlement, to me, is the top rung of all of the problems in the NBA. See, players back in the day, and I'm not going to say get off my lawn, and back in the day, but guys like Bill Russell, who had to deal with racism in Boston and had to take buses and trains to games and had to stay in hotel rooms that his body didn't fit in a bed. The bed wasn't long enough. And they were eating in diners and they didn't have good food. And those guys worked their ass off to build this league. Oscar Robertson, Bill Russell, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, all the legends of the game. They did all the work. They didn't get any money. You would say, well, back in the day, that money was relevant. No, it wasn't. Back in the day, the owners didn't have a lot of money. The league didn't have a lot of money to run the league. And the players weren't making a lot of money. But they built the foundation of the league. When you see the all-75 team, you see the great players coming back, the aging NBA players, those are the guys who built the league, along with the coaches and the rest of the league to try to get it up and running. Then the glory years of the NBA, I think we'd all agree, the glory years were the 80s with Magic and Bird. They were taking the NBA Finals and they would take delaying it and running it at 11 o'clock at night on CBS because they didn't want to compete with Augusta and the Masters and other golf events. They just didn't want to do it, so they ran it on tape delay. And then two guys came into the league and changed everything. Magic Johnson from Michigan State and Larry Bird from Indiana State played in the national championship game. It got enormous ratings. They came into the NBA together, and it changed the landscape of the league, along with David Stern taking over for Larry O'Brien, and he started to expand the league globally, building up the league, doing all the right things you need to do with shoe deals, television contracts, and those guys didn't make a lot of money. I'll tell you later what Larry Bird made throughout the course of his career. You won't believe the players today that are making more than Larry Bird made his entire career. Like the Ball brothers, LeAngelo Ball, whatever those knuckleheads, they made more than Larry Bird. And then Michael Jordan came around. And the birth of Michael Jordan and the sneaker deal with Nike and Jumpman, and then the 92 Olympics in Barcelona, and the Dream Team, and along with the Bulls dynasty, took the sport to another level, and the players started getting paid. They started getting paid real money. I'm talking about the $100 million plateau they were breaking. Not the $300 million plateau that's happening now, but I'm talking about the $100 million plateau. And the players back in the 80s and 90s understood that they were building the sport for their brothers who were going to come up behind them. They played all the games, 82 if they could. They played through injury. There was no such term as load management. I mean, back in the 80s, and Magic Johnson and Larry Bird and then Jordan in the 90s never heard the term load management. It's a new one. And then after that, after David Stern took the league to new heights, Adam Silver came in. And somewhere between David Stern and Adam Silver, the players decided that they were going to take back the league. The players said, no, we're going to take back the league because we're the players. It's our league. No one's going to tune in. They're not tuning in to watch the owners and the referees. They're tuning in to watch us. And along with the union, they collectively bargained with the owners to raise their salaries to get it close to like other sports, 50-50. And then they would have the entitlement to make, instead of $100 million in their career, they would make $100 million over 2 years. They'd make $240 million, $280 million over a 5-year deal. And that has affected the NBA All-Star game. The players don't believe that they have to play at a level or give you the sacrifice of Bill Russell and John Havlicek and Larry Bird and all the legends who played before you. They don't believe they have to do that. They believe that they can show up and get in a limousine and get dropped off at the Four Seasons, go to the shoot-around, have a dietitian, a chef, a masseuse, and then take a limo bus to the game and get paid kind of $200,000 to $300,000 a game. Again, those are the NBA All-Stars that we're talking about. So at some point, the NBA All-Stars got together and said, we don't have to play this game. And Kobe Bryant's like, the hell with all of you. I'm going to play my ass off because I'm Kobe Bryant. No one seemed to remember that. Kobe Bryant just recently died. You would think they named the All-Star Trophy MVP after him. You would think that would be enough for these players to show enough respect to the legacy of Kobe Bryant and all the legends before them that show up and sit on the sidelines and come out and play the game at the highest level, and they don't do that. So we turned into the NBA All-Star game, and I tuned in on Sunday night, but I had a problem because there were other things that I wanted to watch on television. I wanted to watch Saturday Night Live's 50th anniversary. I'm really into music. I'm into Saturday Night Live. I'm from New York. I was watching the red carpet. I decided to watch that. Then the Daytona 500 was rain delayed all day. So by the time the NBA All-Star game came on, the Daytona 500, the Great American Race is on, and they got about 60 laps to go, and I had to make a decision. So I had a bunch of TVs going off in my house. I got DVRs going crazy, lights blinking everywhere. And as I was going to commercial with Saturday Night Live and the Great American Race, I would try to catch a little bit of the NBA All-Star game. And when I tuned in, I was aghast. I couldn't believe what I saw. First off, I saw the same old garbage that I always saw. Guys coming up through half court and chucking up threes. Nobody wanting to rebound. No one wanting to run. The only people wanted to get out on a fast break, wouldn't want to finish. They finished with a layup or a dunk, or even guys on the fast break would pull the ball back and shoot a three. I knew that would happen. But then I noticed that Kevin Hart, the little comedian who's super successful, he was interrupting the game while the game was in progress and talking to the players. I said, wait a second, hold on. The game's in progress. Someone shut his microphone off. And don't get me going with Kenny Smith. What an ego he has. Kenny Smith can't watch a basketball game. He's got to talk through the whole damn thing. He doesn't shut up. And I could tell at that moment that Charles Barkley, my friend, who I've known a long time, was pissed off. I saw the body language of Charles Barkley. His shoulders were scrunched over. He wasn't smiling. I said, oh boy, Chuck's not liking this. The team that they gave him, I don't know if it was a veteran team, the OGs and the Rising Stars. They're all playing in the game. They shouldn't be in the All-Star game. The All-Star game's about the best players, not the Rising Stars. They're supposed to play on Saturday night and shut their ass up and put their suit on and go to the game on Sunday and not lace up their sneakers, and they're in the game. And then at the end, they start giving out gifts to Ernie and the boys and gone fishing and fishing poles. And I said, oh my God, this is a disaster. I couldn't keep score. I didn't know what the score was. They were changing the teams throughout the course of the game. And I finally said it. They destroyed it. They were trying to destroy it over the last decade. And then they finally put the dagger into the NBA All-Star game, and they killed it. In San Francisco, California, where 25 years ago, the NBA All-Star game was beautiful. It was vibrant. Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, all the legends played hard. Yeah, they take some dunks and some alley-oops, but they treated it like they wanted to win. And in the last 5 minutes of the game, it was unbelievable. You couldn't even play in this game for more than 10 minutes without a stoppage and a Too Short concert breaking out. What happened to playing a basketball game from the start of the game in the first quarter to the end of the game and having a halftime, and that's it? So I'm not get off my lawn guy. I had more fun in Vegas last weekend than most people have in their lives. So I'm not the get off the lawn guy. You got the wrong guy. I'm the guy that goes to entertainment. I like entertainment, and I'll evolve a little bit. I was pissed off in baseball with the ghost runner on second. The automatic walk. You can make changes to speed up the game. I can live with that. But they took the NBA All-Star game and they took it lower than the NFL Pro Bowl. The NFL Pro Bowl realized it was getting out of control. Then they said, stop. We're embarrassing ourselves. It happened in Vegas. Max Crosby was the only guy playing all out, trying to tackle people. And everyone was like, Max, stop. Stop tackling people. We're here to play touch football. And then the next year they're playing ping pong and golf and tug of war. And at least the NFL said, we can't do this. Let's just shut it down and we'll play games. Well, maybe the NBA should do that now. The NBA dunk champion is in the G League. He's not even an NBA starting all-star because LeBron doesn't have the balls to do what Jordan and Kobe did, to go into one dunk contest. Giannis Antetokounmpo doesn't want to go now. Everybody's saying, maybe I'll do it now. What are you talking about? The kid in the G League is jumping over cars because you entitled NBA players don't even want to participate in the dunk contest. So I think the big takeaway for me is Draymond Green. Let's get to some of this Draymond Green sound, because I don't use the word in sports often about courage. I don't say courage. a lot, or bravery, because bravery goes to police officers, soldiers, emergency workers. But I got to give it up to Draymond Green. He went on the TNT set where he works for TNT in the city he plays for in San Francisco and just eviscerated the All-Star game. Listen to this.
You get to play up to 40 and then you're done. This is so unfair to Victor Wembanyama, who just took this game really seriously. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who just took this game really seriously. When you talk about chasing after the points, Melo, Kobe, and all these guys who've had great scoring nights, they don't get the opportunity to do that with this game. Also, we can watch some rising stars. We're about to watch the Olympic team. Now we get the treat of watching the Olympic team play against a U19 team. Come on, what are we doing? This is ridiculous.
That was unbelievable. Draymond Green, all of a sudden, I knew he was good on TV. And Draymond Green's a Hall of Famer because of his rings, and he's a defensive standout, and he's made some big buckets. He's played on great teams. Again, if Draymond played for Charlotte and New Orleans, he's probably not a Hall of Famer, but he is because he played for the Warriors. So we can table that conversation for another day. But Draymond better get an Emmy Award for that. When they say the Emmy Award for Sports Moment of the Year, they better give it to Draymond Green, because not many other people in the media had the balls to say what he did. Earlier today, I watched Stephen A. and Shannon Sharp and everybody else talk about it, and they had all important comments. But Draymond Green was the key to all of this, because he looked at it, he saw it was stupid, he saw it was embarrassing, he didn't want to have anything to do with it, and Draymond Green stepped up for all of us and said, this is absolute garbage. And I know it's garbage, and you know it's garbage. And Draymond's not afraid. He's not in fear of TNT. He's not in fear of NBC. He's not in fear of Amazon. He's not afraid like some of these other corporate shills who are scared to talk about the sport because they get a paycheck. And they don't want to hear that they're not going to be a part of the next NBA TV package. So they're all hiding below. They're all hiding below the radar now because they don't want to get pushed around and lose their jobs. So when it comes to this, what I like to do in sports radio is I like to take the obvious topic, if it's good, and I love this topic, and then I want to move it forward. How to fix it. So I put out a video on X before the show at JT The Brick. Here's what you do. It's so easy to fix. First off, you go back to East-West. Bill Simmons agrees with me. You go back to East-West. And you have East-West, or you play the United States of America versus the international players. That's it. You got two choices. Let the players vote on it. You only have two choices, East-West, or we're going to go back to international versus the Americans. That's it. Number two, we are not going to pay the players extra to do their job, because this goes back to my theory on NBA player entitlement, where Jimmy Butler's the worst guy in the league now because he forced himself out of Miami, a very good, well-run organization, and he got rewarded in a new contract to go to the Warriors after he should have been kicked out of the league and suspended the entire year and lost all his money. He's entitled to leave Miami, Pat Riley, Mickey Aronson, and Eric Spoelstra, and go play for Steve Kerr. Does that sound like a penalty for a guy who's acting like an idiot? No, he's entitled to do that because he knows he has power. So that's the big thing I want to say here in the monologue. You don't give these players an inch. They're done. They're going back to work, or they don't have to go and they're not an all-star, and we'll fill your ass with someone else who wants to be an all-star. So you have a meeting in the offseason and you say, this is a new all-star format. We're going to go back to East-West. We're going to have a performer perform before the game. We're going to have a concert at halftime. We're going to have no stand-up comedians. We're not going to stop the game. We're not going to do contests who can shoot a three and make some money during the game when the players are sweating and they're in a rhythm. We're not going to stop the game. We're going to play 4 quarters just the way they play during the NBA regular season. And if you're afraid to get hurt and you don't want to play hard, do not play in the game. Do not accept the invitation. And we will shame you. We will shame you if you screw this up and you act like you're entitled to not play hard, not run hard, not play defense. It's time for the league to take back the league from these arrogant players who don't think they have to play hard after making $250 million in these 4 or 5 year super contracts. Those are the guys going to the All-Star game, man. They're the best players in the world. They're already paid handsomely. They're getting paid to go to the All-Star game, round trip, free hotels, parties, and everything. You don't have to bribe them with another $1 million. You don't have to tell them that if you play hard, we're going to give you this. No more. Put an end to this insanity. JT The Brick is saying it's time for the league, the television partners, the executives, and the owners to take back the league from the players, from the entitled spoiled players who think they're more important than the fans, the television partners, everybody involved in the sport. I'm done with them. I love the NBA, man. I love the NBA. I'm done with it. Okay, I'd rather watch Saturday Night Live, the Daytona 500, Four Nations hockey. Oh my God, what a great product Four Nations hockey is. I am the biggest proponent to stop NBA player entitlement. The players have taken it too far. Not all of them. Steph Curry hasn't taken it too far. But, there's a handful of players. A lot of them are good guys. Nikola Jokic, there's good guys in this league. But I'm saying generally, I'm broadcasting, not narrowcasting. It's time for the league to either remove Adam Silver, if he can't do it on his own, bring someone else in, and take the league back from the players who don't give a crap about effort. They do load management, and they don't want to play hard at the All-Star game. We don't have to get rid of the All-Star game. We got to make it harder, and we got to put our fist down and say, no more games, no more concerts, no more stopping the game for some comedy bit with little Kevin Hart. We're done with that. We saw it, and it failed miserably. 888-623-3646 is the number. If you got something you'd like to add on that, I'd love to hear from you on how you would change this and fix the sport. Okay, I'm going to come back in a second. Chris, you hang with me. I went a little long there. Everybody who's catching me, appreciate you. The bricklayers on the YouTube. It's just a quick monologue. I'm in and out. But I'm really worked up on this game. I'm upset, and I got a voice, and I got a 30-year voice in this industry in radio, and I've connected with a lot of people over the years, and I'm sick and tired of the softness of the media and how scared the media is to tell the truth on topics like this, and they run and they're scared and they don't want to mix it up. The NBA All-Star Game mattered to me. It mattered to my dad and me and to my sons who are 23 and 21, and their hero was Kobe. I don't like when people screw up something that's good. And man, did they screw this up. Coming up, more on the NBA All-Star Game, how to fix it. A lot of news in the NFL. I'll dive into that on the free agent quarterbacks. And there is one NFL player who's not going to be happy with the franchise tag. We'll tell you about this hour as we get rolling. The monologue. All I want from you is to give me 20 minutes an hour. And whatever you want to do after that, I got it. But this is what I do. Thrilled to be here at night where I kick ass on all the shows that have ever been in this time slot on any channel, because that's what I do. This is Mad Dog Sports Radio. Woo! 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 All righty. Level's good. All right, I'm going to just sign out of this YouTube. Just put the monologue up. All right, everybody. I just wanted to pop in, do 20 minutes. Appreciate it. We're going to do more of this, Ray to Ryan. I'm going to fire up the machine at night when I'm fired up. This is why I need you to subscribe to YouTube, get the alerts on the phone, and get rolling with me. So tomorrow I'm back noon to 2. Kind of similar topic as I was off yesterday, 3 to 5 Eastern. And thanks for watching the monologue. Have a great night.